Hi, my name is Daynes. This is my story. Autism. This single word represents millions of kids just like me that are being overlooked. Some kids think that since we have autism that we can't do anything with our life and that we're just kids that will never grow up. We are much more than you think. There are countless famous people in history that accomplished many great things. Two examples, or one of my favorite examples, are Isaac Newton and Albert Einstein. BBC News states that both showed signs of Asperger's syndrome, which is on the autism spectrum. We are not defined by our diagnosis, but defined by our actions. My name is Tyler. My name is not autism. What is autism? Autism is a group of complex disorders in the brain's development. These disorders can impact kids from different degrees. Kids with autism tend to have social interaction problems, verbal and nonverbal communication problems, or repetitious behavior. Most symptoms, though, are shown between ages 2 and 3. For me, I was diagnosed when I was 5, so that makes me an outlier. It is sometimes hard to know who has autism and who doesn't because the spectrum is so broad. It can range from barely noticeable to severe. For example, I am barely noticeable. In my second year of middle school, people didn't know I had autism until I told them. And then they would start talking to me saying that I don't have autism because I look too normal. What's the first thing you think of when you think of the word autism? Most people may have thought at one time or another that a person with autism is that person that will always need help, that will always need assistance. Well, those ideas are wrong. We're just like you. We eat, we sleep, we drink, we play games just like you. Sometimes we might need some help, but otherwise we're the same. When I was in elementary school, everyone thought I was the weird kid, that they thought I was a dumb kid with no talents. Those insults held me down. They thought since I had autism, I was a nobody. I know that they were wrong. All it took was a little common sense to realize it. A reason I know this is because I have straight A's and a 4.0 GPA. Not a lot of kids in my school have that. How do people get autism? No one really knows. Some believe that vaccine shots can cause autism. Another theory states that it might be the environment that causes autism. But one thing is for sure. Autism is not contagious. It's not a disease where you can catch it from someone else. I think some reasons why kids didn't hang out with me was because they thought they could catch my disorder. I was alone. I sometimes felt miserable. I had very few friends. The moment I found out I had autism was the first question I asked my mom was, how did I get it? Mom couldn't answer that question because no one really knows. How does autism affect people negatively? Autism can influence people in many different ways. One way is that autism can make you either talk too much or too little. This is in part due to the fact that they can't read facial cues. When I was little, I had to ask my mom and dad how they were feeling because I couldn't read their facial cues. Some might find small talk and chit-chatting difficult. In addition to having that problem with facial cues, some might also have problems studying body gestures or the tones of people's voices. This can also influence my senses. Sometimes when I'm in a noisy classroom, I would need to take breaks in between, like if we were singing songs in classrooms, I would have to take a break between the songs because it was too loud for me in there. Other times I wouldn't look directly at a person. This can make people feel like I'm not listening. This is all in part due to the fact that I am an audio learner, which means if we're, say, reading a book together, instead of me following along in the book, I would put my head on the book and listen to the book being read. How does autism affect people positively? Even though that autism might have disadvantages at times, there's actually some perks to having autism. For one, we are really absorbent. I have a friend that can recite all 50 states and all of the sports teams in every single state. For me, I'm really, really good with numbers. Another advantage to having autism is it gives me sort of superpower. I can hear my teacher coming to the classroom, so I can be ready to listen first. How is bullying connected with autism? Bullies bully other people to make themselves feel better, and they love picking on kids with special needs. The R word is mostly used when a bully is making fun of a kid with special needs. I have been called the R word, and so have many kids like me in my grade. I have a little brother with autism, and I fear that he will probably have the same challenges as I faced. How are people with autism different? Again, some people with autism might have problems with social issues. These involve facial cues, body gestures, the tone of people's voices. To add to this, some people with autism might flap or rock when they're excited and nervous. I'm different than other people, but I'm actually more similar than different. Some people have a problem understanding that. How does autism affect physical abilities? Again, some people with autism might flap or rock when they're excited or nervous. I don't flap or rock, but my little brother does. But other than that, we're the same. I used to believe that kids with autism are lazy and have no athletic talent at all. Then I found out I had autism. I'm not lazy. I am very athletic. We're capable of much more than people think. There are really good athletes with autism. One example is a high school basketball player named Jason McCalloway. He was placed in the last 4 minutes of a game, in the last game of the year. He shot and made 6 out of 10 three-point shots. He was given an MVP award after the game. He scored a total of 20 points, which led the team that game. He didn't let autism get in the way of something he wanted. In life, we're all given a shot. How does autism influence academic abilities? Some people with autism might have problems handling the workload. This can lead to overwhelmed kids. When I was in kindergarten, I had to be placed in a special ed class that was more at my speed. I couldn't handle the workload in normal classes, so I was placed in this class to prepare me for the normal class. Still to this day, I need help. I have an aide that keeps me on track and keeps me organized. How can we be better to kids with special needs? It's pretty obvious what we can do to help kids with autism. Ask a question about them. Learn their likes and dislikes. Don't call them the R word. Treat them with respect. Help them with their homework. Stand up for them when they're being bullied. Be their friend. Love them. Even though they're different, they're still one of us. This acronym is the true meaning of autism. Repeat after me. Always. Unique. Totally. Interesting. Sometimes mysterious. I hope I educated you and inspired you to help kids with autism. Remember this. It's okay to be different. After all, we're different in our own special way.